Good morning, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed your day off. I hope that you had a meaningful and restful Veterans Day. And I hope that you are having a great day today. As you probably know, all of the subject areas in the building were given a day to do asynchronous work to help get ready for the switch to in-person learning for some students. Today is ELA's day, and even though students are no longer going to be going back on the 23rd, we are still being asked to do asynchronous lessons today. Luckily for us, lesson number 8 is super duper simple. So let's walk through it real quick here together, and then we will get going, shall we? So our objective here is the same as it was on Tuesday. I can write a narrative telling the story of a lost child of Sudan for elementary school students. We're going to finish up taking our test, basically. We're going to skip that opening, and here are the directions. It's the same as it was last time. This assessment is being delivered via SchoolNet, which you can get through by going to nc@cloud.org. Here is the code. I recommend you just pause the video here for a couple seconds to go ahead and get signed in. I'm going to assume that you paused and did that. There is only one question. Your job is to go ahead and write the story that we've been planning out for the last several weeks. If you take a look in your purple workbooks, I'm going to grab mine here. Starting on page 142, there is a series of organizers that we have been using. And if you've been following along in class and getting things filled in, then all you should need to do is take those notes and change them from note form to story form. So page 142 focuses on making sure you understand who is in your story, or who your story is for, and what it is about. Remember, we're writing about the lost children of the Sudan, and we're writing for third graders. Page 143 focuses on who your main character is and where they're going to be, character and setting. 144 and 145 focuses on the main parts of your story. Remember, we talked about plot and how it has different sections of the story have different roles, backgrounds. Purpose is to try and make sure that the reader understands who the characters are and what the setting is and what the conflict's going to be. Then we have those 3 events or actions, which are all just going to be things that your character is doing or that happens to your character as they are working through the conflict. Then you have the climax, which is the turning point of the story. It is where things start getting better or start getting worse, hopefully better, but it is a true story, so who knows. Finally, we have the reflection and the ending, which is where the characters kind of deal with any loose ends and have their happily ever after moment, if that is how that's going to happen. Next up on page 146, we have some information about pacing. Remember, on Monday, we were talking about figuring out which events are most important and how we can help readers focus on those by slowing down the text, either through including extra description or extra dialogue. We did some brainstorming there about what events makes the most sense for you to focus on in that way. And that's the end of the organizer. You should just be able to take the stuff from especially 144 and 145 and take these little notes you have here and turn each of those into a short paragraph. Remember that we are looking for an actual story here, not just a list of events, but a full-blown narrative with descriptions and dialogue and all that good stuff. The last thing I want to mention to you is here on page 147, there's a checklist, which we talked about on Tuesday. And that checklist, which goes on to page 148, lists all of the most important things that you need to have in your story, because those are the things I'm going to be grading you on, right? Most of them focus on making sure that we have all of our events make sense, because you switch from one to another in a clear and thought-out way, making sure that we are including a little bit of dialogue and description for the most important parts of the story. We have a clear beginning and a clear ending, which are connected to the story. those types of things. Those are the most important ones. If you give me a story that is not about a lost boy or a girl of the Sudan, then I can give you very, very few points for this activity. So I recommend very strongly that you are 100% on topic. If you have already handed in your story and you're like, Mr. Keen, I think I missed some stuff, shoot me an email and I will go ahead and reopen your test for you. I have no problem doing that. This draft here is a formal grade. It is going to be the, I think, third formal grade of the second quarter already, right? Kind of crazy. But it's worth a good deal of points. So I recommend very, very strongly that you take your time, breathe, do your work. You'll be okay. When you finish, we're going to be I would like you, please, to take a look at the illustrations you've been either making or researching, like searching up to use for your story. Because remember, we are going to make the thing that you wrote into digital picture books, right? Like we've been looking at picture books for the last several weeks to help us understand what's going on here. Right? You can do full page things like this. I don't think we actually read that book, Brothers in Hope, but we did read Nasreen's Secret School. And this one has a little bit of a different setup where you have like one photo on each page that goes with each part of the story. So I would recommend that you spend a good deal of time today finalizing these illustrations or drawings or images, because in the next lesson on Friday, we're going to actually start making our books with the Book Creator app. That's going to be Friday. So that's it. Finish your test. Finalize your illustrations. If you haven't started doing illustrations yet, you should really spend some time on that. I am going to be around. I'll be at my computer pretty much all day. Feel free to send me a message in Canvas if you need anything at all. And that's all I got for you. Be well, do good, and have a great day.